Greetings, survivors. Now, just gonna get straight to the point here. This is top 10 martial arts for the zombie apocalypse. Now let's get started. Number 10. All of those who like Morgan from The Walking Dead will be familiar with what they claim this martial art is, Aikido. Now, Aikido is a martial art based on using your opponent's momentum against them. Now, Aikido has no strikes in it, so it's not going to be used, that useful in an actual fight. But I can say that, Aikido works against mindless zombies who are just running at you, trying to grab you. But ultimately, other than that, I can't really, think of much of a way on how Aikido can be that useful. Number 9. Judo. Now, Judo, is a martial art that's mostly takedowns and grappling. There are a few strikes, but they're not much to talk about. Now, with Judo, point is, grab your opponent, throw him to the ground, and then you can put him in various holds. Such as the rear naked choke, armbar. I've seen some people use sleeper holds. Ultimately, I don't do Judo, so I can't really tell you all that, everything there is about Judo that applies here. But ultimately, I can tell you, Judo makes number 9. Now, at number 8, we have Kung Fu. Now, ultimately, I'm not talking about a specific type of Kung Fu here, because Kung Fu, has many different varieties. Now, we of course have the obvious ones, like Shaolin Kung Fu. But ultimately, Shaolin is only one type. There's also Wing Chun, Kenpo, Drunken Boxing. There are a lot of different types of Kung Fu. There are even styles based entirely off of animals. And one of my personal favorites, Wushu. Now, the reason Kung Fu makes the list is because of the many different ways that you can use Kung Fu to fight with. And Kung Fu actually has many different weapons that the style uses. There's staffs, spears, knives, swords, whips. There are a lot of weapons. Now, with that in mind, Kung Fu has its problems, since it's a pretty complicated martial art. And ultimately, that it does leave you open, a lot. And also, without those weapons, it's likely that you're not going to be able to kill a zombie since you need a headshot. Now, with that in mind, let's move on to number 7, Kali. Now, Kali is a martial art that is very interesting. Instead of how usual martial arts do and teach you hand techniques and then move on to weapons, Kali actually starts off with weapons, then moves on to hand techniques. Now, with that in mind, there are quite a few weapons in Kali, but ultimately, the most commonly thought of is Eskrima sticks. Now I can't really talk that much about the effectiveness of the weapons themselves against zombies, but I can say that it is useful. Now, ultimately, since it's based mostly in weapons and not hand-to-hand combat, you're going to likely need a weapon in order to actually use this to its fullest. But other than that, there aren't many problems. But it's still ranking at number 7. Now, at number 6, we have Muay Thai. Now, this Muay Thai is actually an interesting martial art because, unlike most, combative martial arts, it focuses entirely on elbows and knees. Now, this is because knees and elbows are actually very, dangerous moves to use. Of course, other martial arts use knees and elbows, but those martial arts have a lot of rules for things like tournaments. But knees and elbows are the main idea of Muay Thai. And knees and elbows are so powerful that they can actually break the skull. So, this is automatically better than most of the things on the list if you're good enough to break the skull. Because if you can break the skull, you can kill a zombie. But if you can't, then it's still a way of fighting without a weapon, in case you don't have a weapon. Ultimately, I can't really think of much else to say about this. So, Muay Thai coming in at number 6. Now, at number 5, we have an interesting martial art, and one that's not that well known. We have the first martial art ever created in the Western world, Pankration. Now, Pankration is a full contact martial art that is based around no rules. Meaning they train you to be able to do anything. Elbows to the throat, knees to the top of the head, slamming your foot into their knee, anything. Ultimately, Pankration, if you're trained in it, you can kill a zombie with it, because knees to the top of the head, as mentioned earlier, if you hit it with enough force, you will send shards of their skull into their brain. There is no debating it. Pankration. It's based around no rules, so it works, and it can kill a zombie, so why does it get an edge over Muay Thai, though? Well, simply, more versatile. And Muay Thai itself does have rules, so Pankration merely has an edge. However, it itself does have its problems. But if you want to know how cool Pankration is, it was the style of choice for the Spartans. And if you don't know what the Spartans are, either read anything on Greek history that mentions the Spartans, or watch the movie 300. Now, with that in mind, let's move on to number 4, a personal favorite of all kids, Ninjutsu. Now, Ninjutsu is a martial art that incorporates hand-to-hand combat, weapons, stealth, and various other things. Now, ultimately, Ninjutsu is probably one of the most interesting martial arts in the sense of it incorporates a lot more than just fighting. Now, with this in mind, there are plenty of problems with Ninjutsu, such as the fact that, well, it doesn't incorporate, everything, and ultimately, over the years, it has gotten, much softer in the sense of the training isn't as intense. However, it is still a pretty solid martial art, and if you don't believe me, watch Bloodsport and say that again. Now, number 3, karate, but specifically I would like to mention Shotokan and Kyokushin. Now, Shotokan is a linear style of martial art, meaning it's straight to the point, and lethal, if necessary. Shotokan, is one of the most intense martial arts training disciplines in the world. How is this? It gets its main things from the styles of Shorin and Shori. These two are completely different styles, and when combined, you get everything from light and fast attacks to slow and powerful attacks. Ultimately, it is a bounce style. That focuses on being straight to the point and powerful and fast. Then we have Kyokushin, the most intense training of all martial arts, with the exception of Shaolin training it in China, but that's how the Shaolin monks train, and I don't really think we should count that because they train for hours a day. But without counting Shaolin Kung Fu, Kyokushin and Shotokan are the top 2 as far as training intensity goes. So intense that they actually have this thing called the 100-man kumite, which is basically just sparring 100 different black belts in a day. and ultimately, if you can manage to win more than 50 of those fights, you win. And the only sparring gear you're allowed is your gi, your belt, and a groin guard. Maybe a mouth guard, but I have no clue. Point is, anyone who can handle that definitely can handle fighting a few zombies. And definitely some people. So ultimately, these two, they make it at number 3. Now, at number 2, we actually have, a lesser known one, but a lot of fans of Resident Evil might know this. I'm talking about Systema. It is a Russian martial art, a free-form style, based around using joints and pressure points to disable your opponent. However, there are plenty of attacks in it, with one of my favorites being to strike them with your shoulder. This is an interesting martial art, because it actually incorporates training in gunplay and knives. So ultimately, when you add that together with the intensive hand-to-hand combat training, and the fact that this is still used by special forces around the world, I think the Russians might have stopped using it in favor of Sambo, but ultimately, very effective martial art. I would highly recommend it for fighting zombies, because I'm not sure I need to explain why a martial art that combines the principles of Aikido, Judo, and a bunch of other martial arts with guns and knives, needs to be explained for why it's good against zombies and people. Okay, so our first honorable mention, I would like to talk about archery. Despite what people think, it isn't just a hobby. It is itself considered a martial art by a lot of people, including myself. Now, with archery, I think it's great. The bow and arrow is actually already one of the most commonly thought of weapons for zombies, and ultimately I can see why. So ultimately I recommend archery to where you can effectively use a bow and arrow to the best of your ability. Now, with that mentioned, I would like to also recommend fencing as an honorable mention. As the TV show Deadliest Warrior once showed, a rapier can actually stab through the skull. And when I say skull, I mean they test it here, went through, split the skull open. And ultimately, if you aim at places like here, 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 and here, it will go in much better. So there will be quite easy to actually hit there. Now, personally, I say fencing has its problems. But ultimately, there is plenty of reason to recommend fencing as a martial art for zombies. And then finally, I would like to recommend as an honorable mention, kickboxing. Kickboxing makes an honorable mention because it combines the disciplines and parts of many martial arts. Karate, Muay Thai, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, Kenpo, a lot of them. And if you don't believe that kickboxers can be impressive, check out Benny Urquidez, my personal favorite professional fighter, and definitely more impressive than most professional fighters. Now, with that in mind, let's get to number 1. Number 1. Kendo/Kenjutsu. Now, this martial art is based around the katana. Now, in case you guys don't know that somehow, the katana is by far one of the most preferred weapons for the zombie apocalypse of them all. It is considered one of the greatest swords ever made, and is quite popular due to its appearance in The Walking Dead from one of the characters I can't stand, Michonne. Now, point is, katana, it's a great sword, but I would recommend, Kendo and Kenjutsu for the sake of being able to effectively use it to the best ability that you can. Kendo, is based around, going up and slashing, and being able, and learning how to parry attacks. Ultimately, it's effective, and if you're actually fighting a person, it makes sense. And Kenjutsu is all based entirely around being able to use your sword to kill your opponent as fast as possible. Both of them, while based around the katana, are good in their own right, so I decided to combine them for number 1. Now, what have you thought about my list? Do you have any ones that you think are right? Do you disagree with anything that made the list? If anything like that, comment in the comment section below. And we'll see you all in the next video. Random Man, signing off.